If you happen to be watching this replay, give me a second, because you know what I need to do? I need to go to TikTok Live. That's what I need to do. That's the deal. Then I can get us going, because we got some reading to do. We've got some reading to do. Yeah, baby. Okay, I have to get rid of StreamYard. See ya. Okay. But you know what? Have you noticed how completely bizarre the world is right now? Yes, we've all noticed. But you know what? Oh my, they're downloading Live Studio. Oh, it's on the, I get it. Oh, crazy. All right. Well, I'll do a little bit of tarot for you guys who are watching this. And I'm going to start with the Animal Oracle card. Kind of give us a setting for where we are right now, where our emotional set point is set at. Okay. Oh, you want that one? I can do that. Okay. Well, this is pretty good. It's very good, actually. Life journey. And what that's about is our perspective. It's so important for us to find a way to understand that however we feel right now, it's not a forever thing. And I used to think that. I used to think that it was a forever thing. Like I didn't feel any sense of mastery that I could somehow come out of it and make a difference for myself. I just figured, well, this is just the way it is. All right. This is just the way it is. And that's not true. It's absolutely not true. But if you don't know that it's not true, then you just can feel really trapped. Like, when will this end? And how can, why do I have to be a victim to this stuff? Right? Okay. I have got more wires and things here than you can shake a stick at, honestly. Although I never understood why you would shake sticks at things. Just saying. All right. Well, this is my fairly new computer. Let's see if it lets me. All right, let's try this. All right, that's cool. Here we go. Let me try my lights. You can see me. What a concept. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go live now with TikTok, and we will have them join us. Because honestly, TikTok is like on it, and I'm just still building my YouTube, so let's keep going. No problem. Let me edit my About Me so I can. Oh, I guess I only have as much as I have. Okay, so let me get all of that out of there. Put this in. Put some stuff in about an individual reading, because that's what people want. They want to be supported, and they should be. We all should be supported in what we're doing. I'm tired of the so-called new normal of cruelty and lack of compassion and complete effery. I'm not into it. I'm done. I don't know about you, but I am done. I didn't grow up with that. I didn't grow up with this idea that it's okay to do things like what happened January 6th. I mean, no, absolutely not. No, no, and also no. So, I'm just putting this course in here. Oh, it won't let me. 3/4. That won't let me. It's too long. All right, fine. Let's do it. Submit. Let's go live. Let's have a nice day. Okay, here we go. Yeah, baby. Now we're talking. Now I'm with my people. Okay. Now, what is that? Why is that like blue? Oh, I get it. I understand now. You know what? I think I might have to put this up here. To put it up here. Alrighty. That works a little better, doesn't it? Yeah, I like it. Although I need a little bit of weight. Alrighty. So I'm going to go for an animal oracle card here. Whoa. I love when they fly out like that. We have opportunity, y'all. Got to keep an eye out for that. You've got to keep an eye out for your opportunities. Stop thinking that you don't have them. So what we have right here is, I wonder if they're letting people know that I'm on. Usually that says that they're notifying people, and I'm not seeing it. Hello, TikTok. I'll just assume. And then hope that somebody shows up. Oh, I have somebody who showed up. So this is the card that I drew from the Divine Animals Oracle. Hi, Mapenzi. Thanks for coming. It's, for the moment, it's just us. There we go. Keisha, Kath, we got some people showing up. Oh, low battery? Really? Oh, you want me to plug this? I thought it was plugged in. You gotta be kidding me. Give me a second, guys. Oh, are you not plugged in, my darling? That is bizarre. Well, anyway, the first card, the community card that I pulled, it's opportunity, which is, let me show you that for more than a half a second. This has to do with the energy of who we are together, and what is available to us. Like maybe some power from my computer. That would be good, right? It's plugged in. Oh, for heaven's sake. All right, let me try doing this a different way. Here, I'll try this instead. How about that? Does that make everybody happier? I think it does. Nope, now it still says low battery. I don't understand. Jesus. Oh, I know you're plugged in. It is. It's plugged in. Okay. Well, we're going to see if this actually works. If I suddenly go dark, I will go to the other computer and I'll come back on. How about that? Okay, so I want to do a reading for the collective. And the readings that I do are about bringing the feminine in, also bringing this in. So you don't see all of that's behind me. It's magic. The deck that I use is this one. I think I'm going to have to. Oh gosh. Okay. Also, Crystal, thank you for joining me on YouTube. I appreciate that so very much. You all can see that what I have is the Good Girl Exit Plan Tarot spread. And what that's about is it's based on the idea that we are all extremely unhappy with the rules that we follow because they're really not ours. They're not authentic, right? They're not the ones that we put in place. It's all the rules that we supposedly are supposed to follow. But I created a business called the Goodbye Good Girl Project, and it's how we step out of the social programming, the social shoulds. Women get the brunt of this, of course, because socially we're always one down. We're just, or 17 down. I mean, it's a real big deal. Men also suffer from this, but they still are it's sort of like, just got this image. It's sort of like they're on the door and we are Leo in the water, freezing to death slowly as the Titanic goes down. Like that's the deal. So what we need to do is to get out of that. And we need to do that by finding an exit plan, right? We've got to do that. We got to find that exit plan. So what I'm going to do for the group, okay, so that you know what I do and you know how I do it. I just got the first card. Is I'm going to do this full spread for all of us as a group. So give me just a second to shuffle these and invite energy to do its thing and me to calm down so the energy can come. That's all that's required. Make some room, make some room. And 6. Alrighty. So let me tell you what the different places are about. It starts at the top left with the inherited script. And what that means is that if you have grown up in this culture, and if you're watching, you've grown up in this culture. You haven't grown up in like a cave with no rules to follow. Crazy, horrible, ridiculous rules to follow. You know what? Hold on. Let me be sure my power is going to stay on. Give me just a second. Well, it's supposed to. Alrighty. So the first thing, inherited script. What are those messages that you were given, and then you've just had those puppies in your head, and you're like, for the love of God, get them out. That's inherited script. The silenced voice is the part of you that really wants to speak up, that needs to be heard, that needs to speak up so that you can recognize these aspects of yourself and understand that they're not separate from you. They're really who you are. I'm trying to read this. Oh, here we go. The energetic leak. Where are you losing energy? What are you giving your power away to that you need for yourself? Okay, so that's the number 3 card. There's a reason I'm telling you the numbers, right? Like inherited script is 1, silenced voice 2, energetic leak. You can guess the rest. Number 4, sacred rage catalyst. Rage, anger, these are super, super important things for women because we've been told that we're not allowed to have this emotion. And the problem with that is that anger, there's many problems with it, but anger is actually a much higher and more positive in terms of vibration, more positive energy than depression or frustration. And so that means if you are below anger, if you are frustrated and you are depressed, if you can find something to be genuinely pissed off about, you are going to be launching yourself into a different energy, and you are going to be able to use that as like a springboard. And you'll become determined about something. You'll be able to do something. It'll be pretty awesome. Let me say to my TikTok people real quickly, this computer, I don't know what the hell it's doing, but it may cut out. If it does, I will come back on in a minute. All right? Okay. I'll just have to use my phone. Okie dokie. Number 5 is quantum choice. Quantum choice. This is where all of your possibilities, all of your abilities lie. This is like a magic doorway for you to hear what is it that I'm missing? What is it that I need? What is it that is coming through? Number 6 is embodied sovereign. So this is about who you are in your collective being at your highest. Now, sometimes a card will come through that is telling you This is who you are at your highest if you can shift something a little bit. Okay? Still trying to make this all work, y'all. So, those are the cards. Now, I'm going to do a reading for the collective. I would like to ask you, before I start, to share this out with your TikTok people. Consider sending a heart if you like anything that I say. Gifts are appreciated. Apparently, I get to ask for gifts. I mean, who gets to ask for gifts? I would like a gift, please. I would like a great gift now. Follow me, subscribe to my channel if you're on YouTube. It costs nothing. There, that's all the advertisement. Okay, great. All right, so here is our first card as a collective for the inherited script. And this card has to do with feeling trapped. It's upside down. It's in what they call the reverse in tarot, right? And it has to do, let me feel into this, you guys. Hold on a second. There's been this feeling since childhood of, I just heard the song in my head. I gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, right? I mean, that's what I kept hearing. That the messages, the inherited craziness that we were given as children, and not just as children, but our culture delivers these toxic messages to us all the time. It's like our brain, without our being consciously doing anything, our brain will take messages that align with the toxic we've already practiced so much that it feels like it's us. It's not actually, but it feels like it's us. And our brain will take it and match up with different messages that tear us down. It's no good. It's not good for us. So the fact that we know that it's not good for us is a really good thing. Like, a lot of people will not understand, just either they've not been exposed to the idea, or they just, for some reason, it's not percolating quite yet, because we all grow at the speed that we grow, and that's it. Some people don't even question. It's just like, oh, this is reality. This is the deal. But if you're here, you're probably somebody who questions reality a bit. And that's a good thing, because you are a co-creator. So you better question the solidity of reality, because you couldn't co-create like you do if this reality we're in were just concrete. Wouldn't work. Okay. The silenced voice. Now, this card usually has to do with holding on too tight to money and material things. But I think that for women, the voice that's been silenced is the one that says, I deserve to have. I deserve to have. I deserve to be. I deserve to anything I want. And that's the actual God's honest truth. I'm trying to show this to both. I've got YouTube camera over here, and I've got TikTok camera over here. So let me show YouTube a little closer. Here, show you upside. This deck is all women, and women in different colors. Show you guys. Here on TikTok. Okay. The silenced voice is the voice within you that says without blockage. Somewhere in me, I know my worth. I may not be able to align as strongly as I want to, but I know my worth. I feel it. I have a sense of it, or I suspect it. It's really, really important. Really important. So that's our silenced voice. The our energetic leak. I'm kind of surprised that this isn't reversed, but let me feel into this one. Oh, I get it. Okay, thank you. So the energetically, this card has to do with community and being with other people and building relationship. Something that women are traditionally very, very good at. And we have to be really careful to find the line between being generous and caring and sharing and leaving ourselves out of the room. So when we make this too much, and what is too much? I'll tell you, the way you can tell is if you're not even part of the picture. That's how you know. If you're like, oh, I've just got to give to this person. Now I got to give to this person. And now I got to give to this person. And there's never a thought for what can I give? How do I feel? What's best in this moment? Because, sometimes you want to give. You badly want to give to people, right? You want to be helpful. You want to serve. You have heart. You give a shit, right? You care. The thing is that we've been very enculturated to leave ourselves out of the room. And that means that at a certain point, the energetics of it are terrible. They're just awful. You go home after all this giving and your heart hurts and you are exhausted. So don't let your energy leak. You cannot give someone a cup of water to drink if you have no water in the cup. And you're the cup. Okay, that's it. Now, Sacred Rage Catalyst. King of Wands. You'll be able to see this is a woman, right? So it's not about your sex or your orientation or anything. It's about the king is about being at the top of the heap. Now, it's not always a great heap. It's not always a good one. If it's the King of Swords, it can be positive or negative. And with this one, given that we are in the position of the Sacred Rage Catalyst, the king has had enough. Thank you. The king's had enough. Right? The king says, look, first of all, wands are about who you are. Who you are. What's your identity? Where's your strength? And the king is like, I know what I know, and I'm looking forward. And the king in this position is going to mean it is time to stop holding myself back, right? Stop holding myself back from feeling what I feel. Like I said earlier, the Sacred Rage Catalyst is super important for women because under the anger that we have felt for forever. I mean, why do you think that women took laudanum, which was like opium, back in the 1800s, when they were having what was called the vapors, when they were like upset? You take drugs too. If you had like no will and you could own nothing and you were just the maid and the everything to your husband. I mean, it still happens. We know this. This is not really all that changed. However, they didn't get any relief. They didn't get to go work outside the house and do all that stuff. So the king is saying enough. I'm done. I have to look forward and use this rage as a jumping off point. I have to feel this energy. The energy of anger is so positive. The abuse with anger is so toxic. We do not have to use that beautiful energy to beat up on ourselves, to go out and do something dumbass stupid like January 6th, right? We don't have to do that kind of stupid stuff. We don't. Haven't you ever used your anger? You're like, oh dear God, I wish I didn't have to clean this freaking place. Okay, fine. I will clean this freaking place. And then you get done in like half an hour and you're like, that's what I was fighting for a week? Really? Yes, because the energy of was not allowed to just speak and then be gone. Like energy flows. It just flows. So stop denying yourself this aspect of your emotions. Still deny yourself the urge to choke people out who bother you. Please, we don't want violence. It's not actually necessary in most cases, overwhelmingly the most cases. If you're being attacked, that's a different story. We can talk about that. You'll definitely need your anger then. There are classes for this, right? I can't remember what they're called, but there are classes for this where women come into this and there's a guy who's dressed in basically a Michelin tire kind of outfit. Like, it doesn't look like a tire, but it's like huge, so that when she hits you or kicks you or bites you, you can feel the impact, but you don't feel the impact. You don't get hurt. And women go to these classes and learn to fight back. And it's the emotional, physical training of breaking through that. Oh no, I have to be kind. You have to not hurt anybody. That it's physical as well as emotional and mental. And so those classes are exceptional for women breaking out of their, fight or flight palette and into, I got a whole range of things I can do. And they're taught to bite, kick, carry on, and then run away. And I saw a class do a graduation, and they each showed what they had learned. And their whole thing was they would get the guy down on the ground, like by punching, kicking, whatever. And then, they would run away. And then the whole class would say, 911, like call the cops, for God's sake. Get yourself safe. But you have to get yourself safe first. Okay, so sacred rage, don't deny yourself your sacred rage. Quantum choice, baby. Okay, remember I said that this position is about your opportunities. It's about your limitlessness, okay? Okay. Ace of Wands reverse. The aces are always about beginnings, right? Makes sense? Not hard to understand. Wands, again, are about you. Who are you? The real you, not the socialized you, not the pretend you, not the masked you. Who are you? Who are you? This is upside down because all of our power comes from our energy, internal energy. And the way we read that is through emotion. So if you want to come into a starting point with who am I, one of the places that's extremely powerful is to sit and feel what you feel, but instead of judging it, which we're really good at, instead of that, feel what it feels like. Does it feel expansive? Does it feel narrow? Does it feel things that you can't even really define? How does it feel? In this way, you're coming into relationship with yourself in a deeper way than you may have ever done. And that's important because we can actually shift these feelings. And that is like shifting our identity in a way that keeps us while making our responses and our reactions different and better and higher quality than we've had before. It's really cool. Really, really cool. You have the ability to choose how you feel. And when you choose how you feel, then you're choosing how and who you are, which is like a crazy idea, right? But it's the truth. All right. So here we go. What's our final card here? So the final card is the embodied sovereign. The embodied sovereign. Okay. Five of Wands has to do with struggle and fighting, and it can also be with like putting on a show. I'm going to act like I'm tough and all that kind of thing. It can mean all those things. The fact that it's in the embodied sovereign position, reading it through that lens, and putting that together, by the way, with this card. And I'll pull another card too for that one. But if I put those two together, I have to understand, I have to feel, because it's not just understanding in here, it's feeling it in your being. I have to understand and feel my power to push back. I can be pushing back against something external, but I can equally be pushing back against something internal. Right? Like if I have a behavior that anytime I step into a room with a bunch of men in a corporate environment or something, just as an example, that I shrink, that I go, oh God, I can't, I'd better behave. It's what we've been taught. Don't feel bad about yourself. Don't beat the hell out of yourself. It's too late. I know. Been there, done that. But we can use this new way of feeling ourselves to say a very firm no to the behaviors and the ways of thinking that we have had for so long. I keep seeing the image of Neo in the first Matrix movie when he dies and then Trinity's like, get up! And he stands up and he sees all these weird beings down there and they're shooting and he just goes, no. And it's right, it's not like, no, you can't, it's none of that. It's just, I know the truth now. No. We need to know the truth so we can say, no, I'm not taking a back seat. No, I'm not doing that. Let me pull another card about that final embodied sovereign placement, about that Five of Wands. Is there anything else about the Five of Wands that we should know? Or we could know, or we would? If anybody wants to have a card pulled for them, I'll pull a single card for anybody, and all you have to do is put a number in the chat, 1 through 6, for which particular part of the spread you'd like to be read for. Otherwise, I'll just choose somebody and we'll get on with it. Also, if you have questions about anything, I'll just, you know what, I've been avoiding answering questions for things like, I don't know, politics and all of that kind of thing. And also, honestly, if I don't know that I'll be able to tell you if you'll get back with your boyfriend or get a new job. I don't know. But I can certainly read what I can see. Okay, so this is good. So remember this card. This is the Neo no card to all the bullets. What came out is Four Swords. Oops. Something's having a fit. Oh, don't have a fit. Just have a nice day. Okay. This is confirming what I was saying, I believe. This means to rest. Rest your mind. Because it's swords. Rest your mind. You know how people say to you, you need to take a break. Aw, Gretchen, I'm so sorry. That is so hard. That is so hard. Let me see what I can get about that, sweetheart. Hold on a second. So we go take a rest by, I don't know, watching TV or drinking or something. My computer's being stupid. Stop being stupid. All right. But our minds aren't at rest, right? Our minds are not at rest. And our beings, our bodies, our nervous system is not at rest. So this is telling us we've got to go deeper. We've got to go deeper than just saying, no, we've got to get ourselves to, I see the untruth of how I let myself be treated or how I'm treating myself. And I'm going to work through all of the ideas that I have until I understand No, I deserve better, and I'm going to give myself better. So I think this reading is really a really deep reading for us about coming inside to where the power is. Okay. Coming to an understanding that our emotion is energy, and that in the ways that we can align and understand how we're feeling, we also have, whether we know it or not yet, but we do have the power to shift it just a little bit. And then what that does, because we are all energy beings and this planet is completely energetic, it lets us shift our reality. It lets us shift where we stand in relationship to the reality that we currently have. It allows us to allow in opportunities and possibilities. It allows us to see them. A lot of times we just don't even see stuff. We're so busy like brooding. Brooding used to be the thing I did the best, honestly. I just could brood with the best of them. And it was a no good. It did not help. So that's the reading. Okay, Gretchen. Gretchen, is your husband with you? I hear the word indubitably. I don't know if you know that word. I mean, it's kind of archaic at this point. Indubitably. What I'm hearing in my head is he says, I can't let her be alone. So I would say, yeah, he's with you. Um, some cards popped out. You love that. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So, like 5 cards popped out for you from him. Okay. You're in a new spot. You know this. You are at the very beginning. It is so difficult. It's like you died too. When we lose a spouse, a best friend, whatever, but especially a spouse, it's like we died too, because we became that combined energy. So it feels we're starting over. But this card is about reassurance that as you start to mix in you're remembering how he feels. His body is gone. His energy cannot be gone. It's in physics. It's not possible. In spirituality, it's not possible. I once was sitting with my father. I was probably 28 or something. I was sitting in front of him on the floor. He was sitting in a chair behind me. We were watching TV. And for some reason, I felt his essence travel right through my back and right out my front. And I knew in that millisecond that I'd never, ever in all of history been without him. And I never, ever could. Crazy, right? Okay. This is what you're up against. You are fighting the internal sense of, I don't know who the hell I am right now. And I want to suggest that you find friends to talk to. You don't isolate yourself entirely. You'll need time alone, but don't isolate yourself. Don't act like you're in COVID again. Find people to talk with and people who can help you. And you will find, looking back at some point, and it won't be tomorrow. We know this. But perfect. So if you and your mom are close, spend time with your mother. you are going to not only recover, but you will become this amazing queen of hearts, basically, because you will have been through the love, the loss, and the rebuilding through your own lens. This is a time for you where you're going to rebuild. You're going to become the you that you decide, whether that's conscious and deliberate or partially conscious and deliberate, or you just stumble into it. That you're going to have, you have been given a huge task. And so since it's a huge task, and because it's so necessary, and he would want that, he would want that. The message is, and these are not the words I would choose, but it's what I keep hearing in my head: get on with it. Meaning, don't take that for at face value, please. But I had to tell you the words I'm hearing. Meaning, always be moving forward. Some days you're going to crawl into the bed and you're not going to come out. We know this, okay? This is grief. That's what happens. But if on the whole, in a week's time, you have made some effort, go see your mother, talk to a friend. If you can manage to do something even tiny and kind for yourself, buying yourself an ice cream cone, like whatever it is. Those little things, they build up. He also says, don't worry, I'll be here when you come, but don't rush it. Okay? This is the hard, it's especially hard because our culture doesn't support it. But there are grief groups, there are in-person groups, there are virtual groups. There's a wonderful book called Tear Soup. You're welcome. Wonderful book called Tear Soup, which is about grief, but it's done as like a storybook kind of a situation, and it really honors the journey that grief is. It really honors that journey. You're in the dark forest right now, and the more you can maybe think about this from a symbolic point of view as well. Can't find a spiritual group? Does anybody know of a good spiritual group to recommend to Gretchen? What state do you live in, Gretchen? Maybe somebody knows of a good group. Let us know if you want it, if you're looking for something virtual or in person or both, because it's waiting for you. Texas, east of Dallas. Okay. So either one. Okay. Okay, it's waiting for you. It's there. It's just waiting for you. It's ready to catch you. Go on to Google and look up grief groups. And if you want it to be a grief group for just women, then look up grief groups for women. Or if you want it to be, for people your age range, I mean, I don't know. You can think about it in terms of what would support you the most. And you can also call hospitals and ask them, where are some good grief groups? That's I think what I would do. And also I would call the library. And you know what? You can go online with libraries and they have like a chat with the librarian thing. And that's, don't make it a big thing, okay? I don't know about you, but when I'm grieving, getting the hell out of bed in the morning is like a big freaking deal. So don't make it a big research project, but just call the library or jump online and look for the librarian chat at a local or even not a local library. It doesn't matter. You can be anywhere in the country. And ask for some support And if you can find a way to be kind to you, just a little bit, you will be doing more than you can possibly imagine. So don't hold yourself to high standards right now, please, Gretchen. I wish you very, very well. It's really, really, really hard. Oh my God. Yeah, I lost my dysfunctional relationship. I lost my partner back in 2013. And even though it was toxic, even though it was like not, whatever, lots of crazy stuff, but it still had, I built my identity around that relationship and around that structure of my life. And I've been given some real hard knocks that I've used to teach myself that nothing is certain, so that nothing is certain except when I can rely on me. And I think when we can learn to truly rely on ourselves and find out how to actually do that, like how do you do that? What's that based on? And for me, it's emotion and energy. Those two are inexorably connected. Gretchen, by the way, start spending a little time each day just feeling your husband. It'll make you cry, but at least you will know that energetically he is so with you. Okay. Whew. Anybody else want a one-card reading? You know what? Let me just choose a name. Let me choose a name, and then I can pull a card. Let's see here. Who's in here? Julie. Julie with a heart. Okay, Julie, I'm gonna pull a card for your embodied sovereign. Why? Who knows? Why the embodied sovereign? Because that's where my eye fell. And they call that being directed. So let's go with that. All right, something for Julie. Oh, 2 cards for Julie. All right, so this is for the embodied sovereign. Sorry, got a gnat flying around here. These are the cards for you, Miss Julie. The Emperor is the divine masculine. The way I read this is the divine masculine, which means the protector, but the right kind of protector, not the let me disempower you, but the one who's like, I've got you. And they really do. And they also know how to let you go and let you do you. Consider these on the inside of you, like this. Cats. On the inside of you, you have this mastery. This is yours for the taking if you haven't already. And it's paired with this card that has to do with the sharing of wealth, the giving of gifts. And it's really the sharing of the gifts of the heart and emotion. So your sovereignty shines very brightly when you allow yourself to feel your power and to let that show itself. And when you are standing in the balance, this is the divine masculine, and this feels to me like the divine feminine in a big way. Feminine likes to serve. The feminine part of us likes to serve, likes to give, likes to feel the giving of love in that way. So your embodied sovereign really is like the spiraling of the 2 snakes. Like, you're very, very, very powerful. And that doesn't mean you have to go out and do powerful things or do power over, but it means that in your essence, you don't have to create this partnership. You already have it. All you have to do is practice feeling it and letting it do the hard work of showing this externally, which is cool beans. Absolutely. Good Lord. Like that. That's like the Hindu Shiva and Shakti. God and goddess. Divine feminine, divine masculine. When we're healthy, that's what we're all looking for. Is the marriage of the divine masculine, the divine, and the divine feminine. What happens when we feel bereft, when we're like we've lost a partner, or we've not had one for too long, or we've never had one, or whatever it is, and we're like, oh God, I need this. I need somebody to love me. Nothing wrong with wanting someone to love and to love you. Are you kidding? That's a beautiful thing. But we got to remember, we've got to practice not giving ourselves up for it. I practiced for years the exact opposite. I was so grieving that I didn't have anybody, didn't have the right person. And what I didn't do was I didn't take any of it inside. I didn't know how. And part of it is if you just take some time to do like 4 minutes of visioning a night and sit there and imagine that you are feeling it. Imagine you know what it feels like, or you know what it would feel like. It's good stuff. All right. Anybody have any other questions? Any other questions? And I want to thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you so much. And for you women, by the way, who are small business owners and entrepreneurs who are leaning that way, I do have a women's mastermind called Lead Like a Woman, which is on Wednesdays from noon to 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. And you can find the event and the link and everything else on LinkedIn. I will try to put this in here. I'll try to multitask. What a concept. And while I'm doing this, if you could share this with some of your friends, that'd be pretty fabulous, I must say. Okay, I can't do this because it's going to require that I go in there and I find my password and all this insane stuff. So yeah, please share this. And if you would send me a heart or two, I love those hearts. I know they don't get me any money, but I love them. Can I tell you? All right, what shall we read on? Anybody have any thoughts? How about we read on where the feminine shows up for all of us, women and men. Where we need to be focused so that we can step into true respect for the feminine, true respect for women, true understanding of how much we need to be appreciating ourselves in this way. And okay, this is an interesting card to get to this question, because the Hierophant has to do with like setting rules, and it has to do with like laws and things like that. So having said that, the laws that we really want to follow to honor our feminine, to honor women, and to vibrationally make our world better. And vibrationally is far more powerful than physically to the power of 10,000. For real. We want to follow the laws of energy. We want to follow the laws of compassion. We want to follow the laws of attraction, understanding that what we radiate is what gives us our choices of cards, so to speak, choices that come in that we can see, our opportunities. The thing you don't want to do with this is to make all of these laws or rules or whatever, you don't want them to, they're not rigid. They're about quality of life. They're about quality. You know what I mean? It's about for instance, there's a lot to be upset about in our country, in the US. Ooh, I just got dizzy. Ooh. There's a lot in the US that'll break your mother effing heart right now. And we need to stay high. We need to stay up. When we fall down, we need to get back up. We need to find something good to do for somebody else because you know what? Then it comes back to us and we see it and we go, there's good in the world. There's good in the world. And the good is so much freaking stronger. All the crazy stuff that's going on right now is falling down. That's why it looks so completely messed up. It is like it's exactly like the Berlin Wall. Whether you were around for that or not, but the Berlin Wall separated the two halves of Germany, and people for decades died. They would be shot by the guards up on the wall. You were not allowed to cross from one to the other. One was communist, the other was not. And people died trying to get to the other side to see their loved ones or just to get the hell out of whichever side they didn't want to be on. And one day, seemingly out of nowhere, images hit the news of students sitting on top of the Berlin Wall with hammers, breaking it down, people at the front sides of it, breaking it down, taking pieces of the wall as a piece of history. Amazing. Amazing. You know what that was? Now, I'm going to tell you something, and then I'm going to talk to those of you who would argue with me. And I love those of you who would argue with me because I love looking at the mysteries and at the things that don't fit so I can see if there is a way they actually fit if I had a different perspective. Hope you understood that. What that was with the Berlin Wall, that was the shift in the energy, the collective energy. And I mean worldwide collective energy. Now, if you go look it up online, you're going to see different things that were happening in the political arena in Germany, and you're going to see, and those are real things. Those are real. But it doesn't explain why suddenly, after decades of murders, separation, hatred, and fear, that one day people came up to the wall and went, I don't think so, and took that mother effer down. That's energy. That's the power of the shifting of our collective energy. So, follow higher laws. Don't repress yourself. Don't do this religious thing that we so often have, which is I have to now be a good girl. You know how I feel about being a good girl without deciding if that's something that's going to lift you. Because if it's not going to lift you, you're not being a good girl. You're punishing yourself. Don't be a good girl. Be somebody who says, I want to feel better. I want to experience myself and my world from a place that feels better and real, authentic. That's what we've got to do. That's what we've got to do. That's what gives us that's what gives us such power in shifting this world. If I could get anything across to anybody, that would be it. Honest to God, that would be the thing. And it comes from an experience, but it also comes from listening to stuff like this and going, well, let me think about that. right? Let me think about that. That's very interesting. And go think about that and see if you can figure out for yourself experientially, not just here. You want this to be clear. You need to work on this. We all need to work on this because it's full of crap. It's not completely full of crap, but it's the mind can only regurgitate to you what it's already experienced. It cannot come up with a new idea all on its own. What happens is the new ideas come in through the energy, through the intuition, through the inspiration. Those aha moments do not come. Those epiphanies do not come because you said, let me sit down and I'm going to work on having an epiphany. Right? That's not how it works. Right. Interesting, isn't it? It's really interesting stuff. So if you want to change the world, go to the marches, write the emails, write the letters, do the things, and you better spend some time getting to know your emotional set points and how it feels to be you and how it is possible that you can shift how you feel by this much, and that when you shift how you feel by this much, you are shifting your life that much. It's not a theory. I experience it regularly. It's a thing. We all vibrate at different rates of speed. I think of it like different vibrational families, because if I vibrate at certain rates of speed and they're not very high, if I'm very depressed for a long, long period of time, which I used to be, a lot of the things that are going to come to me aren't going to be so fabulous, or if some of them do sneak through, because I'm not I'm not completely without positive thoughts. Then what? Then how do I bring them back? How do I even see them? How do I even see these great possibilities? I probably missed it more than a dozen of them. One more card? Okay, one more card, and then I'm going to get going. I'm here on Tuesday and Thursday nights at 5 p.m. I'm here on Sundays at 11 a.m. You can get an individual reading with me. I do 30 and 60-minute readings, and I put the links in whatever they call it. It's in here somewhere. Take a look. I can't think it's called. Oh, I've had a day. Have you had a day? Yeah, I went into a real deep nosedive there for a few days about what's happening with the country and feeling so awful about child abuse and things. Just all this stuff. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. And I'm fortunate in that I do know that it is our energy that can change this literally overnight. Did you know that Greg Braden, Gregg, Greg Braden, who's a physicist and a spiritual guy, all over YouTube, in case you don't know him, been around for decades. Greg says that 8 point something, not much, 8 point, like let's say 6, I think. If 8.6% of all people in the entire planet woke up, when 8.6% of people wake up, that is all it takes for us to shift the planet's experience, all of our experience, and the planet's trajectory, literally overnight. This is a physicist saying this. This isn't just like a nice spiritual idea. I don't like nice spiritual ideas. I like spiritual truths that I can then prove and make practical. I don't want just nice ideas. I want things that are going to really help me be better, feel better, be happy, be fulfilled anyway, that kind of thing. So that's that. If you are a leader, if you are a woman who is a leader, I want you to know that I have found that most of the things that hold us back in terms of the messages and the beliefs and all that are, rather than being things that are wrong with us, things that are deeply implanted or something, or things that are connected to trauma, are actually not that deep as we think, or as we've been told. They are instead patterns that we have practiced, and the key to changing it is not to go against it. It is not to try to push it out. It is not to shame or blame ourselves. It's not to beat the hell out of ourselves. It's none of that stuff. It's none of that. It's like my teacher Amachi, the hugging saint, says. When you walk into a dark room, do you spend time trying to push out the dark, or do you just turn on the light? It took me a long time to understand what the heck that meant, honestly. A long time. Now I understand. It's a matter of shifting our emotion, and it doesn't mean that you have to stop feeling bad. It means that in that soup of badness, you have to add a little touch of light. Is there anything in your life that you can think on that will make you feel good for just a minute? Literally 1 minute. Minute and a half. Let's stretch it. Make it a minute and a half. I'm telling you. You practice this every day, and you're going to start to see changes internally, and then you're going to start to see changes externally. Just don't think it's all going to happen overnight, because you'll kick yourself in the butt, which is what I did, because patience is one of those things that I can give to everybody else, but I find it sometimes very difficult to give myself. Just saying. All right. Again, I am here Tuesdays, Thursdays, 5 p.m., Sunday, 11 a.m. I have a women's mastermind that is free for all women on Wednesdays, 12 to 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can find that event on LinkedIn under my name, Lori Kirstein. I'll put it in the chat. You know what? I'll just put my, in the chat, LinkedIn.com. And please connect with me there. If I can support you in helping you with your entrepreneurship or your small business challenges, we women need each other. We need to help each other. And I have a number of ways that I can do that, but I would first have to meet you, like get to know you, see what you're doing, and see what you need. But we've got lots of people I know that can help in all kinds of ways, and I'd like to do that. So thank you so very much for being here. I'll be back on Thursday at 5, and if you want a reading, find the links in the description. I wish you love. I wish you moxie. We've got to have the moxie. Do you know what moxie is? Moxie is like badassery. So let's do it. And that doesn't mean being mean. It just means being the fierce goddess. Even you guys. Take care, y'all.